You're going to turn on the light as soon as we get started.
Okay.
And now you can flip on the light.
Okay.
It took everything I had, for those of you that joined in, to not turn the camera over there so you could see Alyssa over there just dancing like crazy.
Don't do that.
Welcome to our TikTok live debut of Top Rope Spoilers.
Yes.
You know, we did Plate Exchange earlier. Hopefully a handful of you that watched that one are back in for this one. But this is our prediction show for our WWE live events. Kia's clearly fiddling with her TikTok. She'll be with you shortly.
Yeah, for real.
She'll jump in here in a second. But this is for WWE Backlash, live from San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I'll be there. First trip to an American territory. This will be new for me. I'm hoping my Duolingo's going to pay off, though.
Sound you nervous?
Oh, yeah. I'm scared out of my mind, honestly. You're going to try getting an Uber with a country where 4 out of 5 Uber drivers only speak Spanish. So, hopefully I'm able to come ready, but I guess we'll see. Kia's jumping in here, so we'll slide over here, let her say hi. As Alyssa
Hi.
proceeds to throw her into a wall.
It's okay. It's okay. You're welcome. It's good.
But that was Fuego Latino by Bad Bunny, the host of Backlash. So, you know, not only did we get him to host the event, what did Damien call him? The multi-platinum superstar, megastar. But he's coming into his house.
That's good.
We gonna find out. But also his match against Damian Priest on Saturday as well. So we'll see how that ends up panning out for the young superstar. But let's go ahead and hit the scoreboard here first. So Kia, you'll probably want to slide in front of Alyssa or behind, whatever. But we are in Season 4. First of all, congratulations to Alyssa, our newcomer, for picking up the Season 3 victory. There is a TikTok dare coming for me and Kia at some point in the future. We don't know what it is yet. She will not give us any preview. So we are SOL without a paddle right now. But
I know how to swim without a paddle.
yeah, but not in that kind of lake. But either way, WrestleMania was our first live event of Season 4. Alyssa and Kia right now holding the 1-point edge, as each picked up 8 at WrestleMania. I got 7. The OTRA's got 6. There is still time to put in your vote. It's on our YouTube community page. I'm going to try to see if we can do something here on TikTok as well, but we'll manage to see how that plays out. But if you're watching this later on our YouTube, Instagram, whatever, then at that stage, go into the community page. You do realize we're going to shift to 2 people once all this is done.
Okay.
So you're just trying to hide from the camera.
Aw, you put that together?
Aww. I guess you want first shift behind the camera?
Sure.
Go ahead. And we're going to shift in between as we go through the matches, so that way we can have some good interaction with you guys. So if anybody has thoughts, comments, anything, feel free to throw them in the bottom. We'll be happy to interact as we go along. But let's go and hit our first match of the live event. And that is one that, frankly, was just kind of thrown together seemingly at random, as Seth Freakin Rollins is going to go one-on-one with the Nigerian giant Omos. As I said, this match seems to make very little sense in terms of the overall capacity of the match, other than just to get 2 big names onto the card, while also setting up your potential new World Heavyweight Championship title that will be exclusive to Monday Night Raw, both of these guys staying on here. But I don't really know it. Like I said, this one kind of just seems thrown together.
That's because it is thrown together. There's no storyline between either one. He has a better chance of going up against Roman. He has a better chance if Roman was right there instead of Omos. Clearly, there's no story. There's nothing to connect the two. There's no enemy, there's no friend, there's no foe, there's no frenemy, there's no nothing. This story makes no sense. The only thing I can see is that it's going to be like, it's going to be fun for Seth to beat up on a giant, and when Seth inevitably wins, because, you know, Omos can only take with one hit before
Yes,
he's
so we're
out.
referring to Glass Joe
Yeah,
over here.
Glass Joe.
Quick, where's that reference from? In the comments, first one to get it, we might send you something. Glass Joe.
I'm just saying, there's nothing to connect this story. It just doesn't make any sense. And to me, I feel like this is a throwaway match, and it needs to be the first match up. You know what I mean?
And that's sad because, you know, we know the type of talent that Seth Rollins is.
Yeah.
You know, but it just seems like this is not so much a match to, like, worry about the two of them. It's like, here's two big names that are going to be on Monday Night Raw. Oh, and there's a new world title that's getting ready to be announced and fought for here over the next month. So let's put these two out here. You know, what do they say? Throw it against a wall and let's see what sticks. Alyssa, your thoughts?
I feel like this. I mean, okay, let's call this what it is. Omos is big, and you have
Really,
to.
what gave that away?
I don't know. Probably the fact that they get his camera angles from underneath. But we go on our business.
Well, I mean, I
anyway,
can look huge, you know, if I'm down here, you know, the entire time, like, you know.
Exactly. But no, I think
My
they have to
baby's a
use.
giant.
I think they're gonna have to start using Omos more to start building him up because again, you brought up the new title. It's like if he just keeps on getting one hit in or dominating people and only taking one hit, then at that point he's never gonna get better. So I feel like they're starting to throw more worthy challenges at him, you know, or a better. Bigger talent, I guess.
And I think the biggest problem with Omos has not been so much the fact that he doesn't have the size, the strength, you know, the look of the champion that you want. I don't think that's the problem. But anytime he has been handed that big match, he gets squashed. You know, they did it to Lashley Lashley 2 years ago. He had a match with Brock at this year's Mania. You know, of course, you know, anybody else he's gone up against, it's like when he finally gets that one big match where it's like, this is how you build him as the unstoppable giant. This is how you build him as your next, you know, whomever. All of a sudden, like I said, he takes one punch and he loses.
I feel like they need to start doing it in the background too, though, because they sit there and think about it on the shows when he wrestles, he fights little people. He fights people who aren't.
Well, with all due respect, no one's his size.
Well, yes, but still, you have. I will say this: you have better quality talent that he could be fighting on a week-to-week basis to build him up to be better than to sit there and feed him the little people, and then when you put him in a big premium live event, then boom, of course he can't take a hit.
Well, but then all of a sudden, flip to the other side. You look at Seth Rollins, who, you know, everyone believed was the person who came the closest, probably, maybe, arguably Cody, came the closest to being the one to dethrone Roman a little over a year ago at Royal Rumble. In fact, he has the only victory over Roman Reigns, because that technically was a disqualification win for the Architect. You know, but having him take on a giant the size of Omos, the reality is there's no harm to him winning or losing, but you cement him as the favorite for the new World Heavyweight title if he picks up this win.
That's true.
My thing with this is, again, and it's been said, like, over the last several months, even a year, Seth is good at his job. He literally can put anybody and everybody over. Any situation, part-timers, full-timers, big people, small people, people who, for everybody else, might be irrelevant.
Chops there?
They might be irrelevant, but to Seth, he's going to go in, do his job, put them over, and even if he wins or he loses, he's making that other person look good. So you're literally working with a veteran. So for Omos, I think he needs to learn something. I think this match is a learning curve for him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, I mean, again, whether it's thrown together or not, also remember that this is the first event at Puerto Rico in 15 years. You know, live event or not. I mean, Puerto Rico hasn't had an event in a decade and a half, so you're going to take the biggest names you have available, in one case more literally than normal, and you're going to put them out there to put on the best show possible. And honestly, I mean, you said it yourself, Seth can carry anybody.
He really can.
So that does move us to our first pick of this live event. For those of you who have never joined us or are new to the TikTok thing, it is on our community page on our YouTube. Same handle, add on the ring apron. Excuse me, I can't talk tonight.
You're good.
But ultimately, we do allow you to be able to put in your votes, and all of the votes that are tallied together become what is called the OTRA vote. and it's a chance to compete head-to-head against us to see how we did. The OTRAs very nearly took things last year. Alyssa pulling it off late against the OTRAs at Mania last year, so it was very close. But we do also let you know where the vote is standing, because the vote is live as we speak and doesn't become official until the bell rings. But right now, 84% of the vote is going for Seth Rollins. I don't think that's a surprise that Rollins is comfortably ahead, but there's still time with several days between now and the live event. Y'all are tied, so...
She can go first.
Kia can fire away. I go last because I'm last.
I mean, 84% is literally backing Seth. I'm not going to go against the OTRAs. Again, he cannot take a hit to save his life. If it meant saving his life, he would be gone at this point. I'm going with Seth.
Seth?
I mean, Seth freaking Rollins. My bad. The
visionary. The revolutionary. At Christmas time, confectionery. Because we own his gingerbread man. Alyssa?
This one's a head and heart, like knowing background information, going into it. Like, I always ride the Seth train. Y'all all
How many more times have we been? Well, that was against Cody. I mean, come on.
I don't care.
We shouldn't have rode that train.
I don't care.
Okay, I didn't ride that train.
I'll ride that train till the wheels fall off.
We stare at her long enough, she'll eventually say something, right? She has to make an official pick. She's only had 2 weeks to think about this.
Well, yes, I know, but I'm still stuck. All right, book it. We're going to go with... I
can hand you a coin.
Omos.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Any particular reason? Do I dare ask, Patrick? Was that for here to go?
Background.
Got it. Honestly, I mean, even without that pick being put in there and the long thought process, I'm actually going to go Omos as well. And the only reason I'm going to say this, and I still think it's going to be by crook, I think MVP is going to get involved.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You need a staple win on Omos' record. If you want to make him a legitimate contender to be part of this World Heavyweight Championship tournament they're getting ready to run, he doesn't have that one big win yet. And for someone of his size, who's been here as long as he has, I get, that you're not going to go over against Brock, you're not going to go over against Bobby Lashley. But the reality is, he's got to get that stable win. Otherwise, you are absolutely joking in terms of having him as part of this tournament. Plus, how are you going to stomp a guy if you can't get him on the ground?
That's a good point.
So I'm actually going to go Omos here. I think Omos needs that staple win.
Yeah.
Cool. Rotate. You first, I guess? Okay. Well, I'm shifting this way then. All right, and, this is what we kind of do because we are very limited on our amount of space. If somebody would like to build us a bigger place, I am not going to ever object. Match 2 is our first of 3 championship matches, and it is for the United States Championship.
Ooh.
A triple threat match between 2 folks that are actually heading to Smackdown, including the champion, Austin Theory, as well as the almighty Bobby Lashley, going to Friday Night SmackDown, thanks to the recent WWE draft. Bronson Reed remaining on Monday Night Raw, but right now with Gunther moving over to Monday Night Raw, it appears that the mid-card titles are going to flip. Alyssa's just now realizing how much heavier that belt is than all the others.
Yeah.
It's quite a doozy there. So we've got 2 SmackDown competitors and then Bronson Reed representing the red brand, trying to keep the U.S. title over there. You see this. Obviously, we're aware of the wars that... Trying to get the timer started there. There we go. Trying to get the, everything set up here in terms of Theory and Lashley have obviously had many, many wars against each other, really kind of going back and forth against each other. But lately it's been Bronson Reed that has come in and not just matched up with Lashley, but he's really held his own against him. They had a great match at the SmackDown, in which case everybody was kind of stuck and they had to a Raw that was kind of thrown together. And the SmackDown group kind of came over, and Bronson and Lashley was at the time kind of a throw-in match that ultimately ended up working out. Now add in a newly confident Theory, a recent pinfall victory over John Cena at WrestleMania. Not many people can claim that title.
Nope.
But, work cut out for him. Obviously, he's representing a new brand as he's now on SmackDown and trying to keep the championship on the blue brand. Lashley, of course, can still keep it over there with a win himself.
Yeah.
Alyssa, you're the one holding the gold. Flash those theory plates if you have a moment. But otherwise, your thoughts going forward on this one.
Can
Yay!
Okay. All right, so, y'all really can't start with me. Let's see. When it comes to Theory, y'all know how I feel about Theory. It's a love-hate relationship there. The
longer his beard goes, the more you love him.
All right, that was for behind the camera. There was a good camera.
Also, I did it to Kia earlier, the Omos cam. There you go.
No, in all seriousness though, Theory has come a long way. He started at the bottom. Well,
and now he's here.
All right, Drake.
Oh, did we just get copyright banned?
Oh, I'm sorry. But
give credit to Drake.
He has grown a lot.
Yes, he has.
He's had the highest highs. He's had the lowest lows, and you can't argue with his talent. Yeah, I mean, love the guy or hate the guy, he's turned into something, and I can see him go far.
Well, you've seen the confidence build in him, because he was, they gave him the, for those who watched in the later part of the Attitude Era, that Drew McIntyre Chosen One run, and then when Vince infamously left, they put him through the ringer where you thought not only was it not going to work out for him anymore, you were thinking he might be on his way out, he might be done. And he has instead thrived under the pressure, building up. Hey, some people turn into shattered coal, others break into diamonds. And they slowly turning into the diamond of our industry right now.
I honestly feel like Theory, like you said, piggybacking off of what y'all said, I feel like Theory has had an evolution that has been good, bad. He started on NXT. He moved his way up to the main roster. I feel like this moment for him was taught by, and I know he's not going to sit here and admit this, was taught by like Johnny and Candace when he was with the Way. But I also feel like Vince kind of helped him get his confidence boosted and everything. He was already confident as is.
Two-way shout-outs tonight. Indy gave one earlier.
Yeah. He's already had that confidence coming into it. Vince left, came and hadn't come back, and he was kind of, I think that fueled his fire. Bronson, baby, he is he is a wrecking machine. He is the wrecking ball of this industry.
Big boy, biggest boy.
He is the wrecking ball for this industry. I feel like he was meant to be here on the roster. He's meant to do great things. I'm actually excited for him. I want to see the competition and who he goes up against. And yes, for him and his height and his stature, I feel like he can hold his own. He don't need no help. Yeah. Lashley, we know, can hold his own, don't need no help. And the fact that he let MVP go a long time when MVP turned on him, it only shows he don't need a mouthpiece. He can be his own mouthpiece. He can fight. He can do what he needs to do. In the end, I feel like I would like Theory to continue to go a long way and see how this goes, but at the same time, I can see one or the other. I can see Lashley taking it back, but honestly, Lashley I felt like has had the title several times before. I think we need to give someone new a chance. It's not Theory, if it's going to happen.
And that moves us to the last 30 seconds. We'll try to get our picks a little quicker in this time. Kia, you're up first on this one, then it rotates back around to Alyssa.
I'm going to go ahead and say I think Theory retains by hook or by crook. Either way, I feel like he at some form or facet, he's going to come in, he's going to be confident, but at the same time, that fuel, that fire that's fueled him is going to be what he needs to keep him with that title. That's his baby at this point. You cannot let that baby go.
I'm going to get my one chuckle in here real quick, and I would never say this to this man's face because he would squash the crap out of me, but he looks like Bronson's render looks like a man who just saw pineapple on a pizza. Just like, what are you doing? Like, This is the look of a man who is absolutely disgusted. But the reality is, you hit the nail on the head that this is the. You can tell he's destined for gold at some point. He's going to win it. I don't think it happens here though. I'm actually going to piggyback on Kia as well. It just seems like it's like these two are going to end up just beating the tar out of each other. This is King Kong Godzilla, whatever combination you want to go with here. And Theory's going to be the one that's going to swoop in, as a heel does. And, pick up the pieces and ultimately win. I do think Theory retains.
By the way, I love that reference. King Kong and Godzilla. Yes, sir.
You know, but I mean, Colossal Bronson Reed. I mean,
makes sense.
they already give the idea of, you know, the big guy in the city and whatnot.
Okay. Alyssa?
I take theory 2. 3. Yeah.
Very quick and to the point.
Yeah, y'all took mine.
Oh.
So, sorry.
Well, we try to spin the order as best we can, but all right. So I'm gonna combat roll behind the camera here, and Kia gets to step in.
Woo-woo.
Who's up next? Who is up next? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't give the OTRA vote either on that one. Right now, 66% is going with Theory as well. So, barring a late change up to the voting, of course, there's still time. It doesn't become official until the bell officially rings on Saturday. But right now, it does appear that we are going to apparently all go the same way on this one. So our third match on the Backlash card here is our second championship match, and it is for the Raw Women's Championship.
This is going to be great.
Ironically, a match between two members of SmackDown. Go figure. Kia, go.
Bianca, we know, is my favorite. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I feel like she is worthy of holding the title. I feel like she's done everything that she's supposed to do. Quickest, fastest, smartest, strongest, toughest, everything in her capacity. But she stated earlier on SmackDown and yesterday on Raw that her and Io have had each other's numbers. This is not the first time they've had this encounter or this meetup. So Bianca clearly understands what Io's talking about, and Io's literally coming after Bianca. There is no two ways about this. Io, I would love to see her with the title. I really would. But I don't feel like, at the present moment, I don't feel like it's her time, even though she's calling her shot and she's shooting her shot. So, good.
We can't understand the shot she said, but, who cares? It's good. Like, we understand each other.
It's enough for Bianca to understand.
Absolutely. Alyssa? By the way, flash the gold, please.
Oh. Dear Lord. There you go. Slipping.
We have props. Like we show off props. Loud and wrong one. There we go.
Almost wrong. No. We'll go ahead and start here. I like that Io's gonna get a chance. Like I like that. I guess going back a little bit, I like that Bayley was able to get out of the way, and be like, okay, you know what, I did have my shot.
Yeah.
I've had my tries at the title, and I'll give you that. So I like that Io is getting a chance to step up and show what she's capable of. I didn't really get to watch her that much. I think y'all said she was hurt when I started watching.
She was hurt, but
she was for a little bit.
I was about to say, yeah, I didn't really see much of her. So I know y'all said she's the Empress of the Sky.
Genius
of the Sky. Lord, I'm mixing.
Unless Kia's talking while she's before her coffee, then she's the genie.
I feel like just go back and watch NXT with me, and you'll see what she can do. I mean, you've seen her on the main roster, so I feel like but
I'm trying. But yeah, back to what I do know. The EST, the strongest, toughest, fastest. We love it. Let us in some instances. No matter reasons though, we still love her. But yeah, I'm loving this reign that she's on. She's giving a very dominant run right now, and I'm loving it. So,
and it's kind of an interesting twist though that you end up bringing up her reign, because regardless of the result of this match, her reign will come to an end officially as of Monday the 8th, because even if she retains over Io Sky, there will be a title switch where she will at that point take over as the SmackDown Women's Champion. We assume that's what they've done in the past, regardless of the result of Rhea and Zelina on the other side, because in an interesting twist, Zelina is on Raw, but so is Rhea as well, and yet they'll be competing for the SmackDown title. More on that in a little bit. But it's just so one way or another, this record-breaking reign is going to end one way or another. And if you're Io, you're competing for a championship that ultimately you're not even going to get to keep, even if you win, because you'll be having to surrender it 2 days later to become the SmackDown Women's Champion. So in a weird twist, I kind of wish they'd gone ahead and just done it.
Yeah.
You know, at the first night of the draft. Like, once you realized that Rhea was going to Raw, just go ahead and have them do it then. Give them that Survivor Series-esque, preview. Yeah. Make them kind of glare at each other while they're handing over their belts, looking like Whoopi Goldberg from, what movie am I thinking of? Come on, Kia, help me out here. She's the nun. Sister Act, thank you. Handing over the $1 million check. Damn. But, first of all, bravo on the renders for both of them. Yeah. I really like the fact that they accentuated Io's cheekbones. Baker looked fantastic, but I'm going to piggyback on what Alyssa said. Giving Io that chance to finally step out into her own spotlight. We know what a just absolute flying powerhouse she was in NXT. I don't think Damage Control was a bad route for her or Dakota to go. I think you needed someone like Bayley to really kind of help give them that push in, to give them that chance to really say, hey, just in case you don't remember who these two are, here's who these two are. But now Io getting her shot. Bayley's now teaming with Dakota now to go after the tag team titles. So it looks like they're going to find a way to keep Damage Control together while also giving Io and Dakota their flowers as we go along. So that does move us into our picks. I will be up first on this one. I want so bad to pick Io here. I really do. Because it's clear she is the future of, the women's division. She's got gold in her sights, and I think it's more than just tag team wrestling. But, they've all shot and they've all missed. Come on. Bianca's taken out them all. And, Io might be her toughest challenge to date yet, especially if both members of Damage Control are waiting outside. Mm-hmm. But also, Bianca, with all due respect, been there, done that. How many matches did she have with Bayley where Damage Control was on the outside? Yeah. And ultimately, like the EST, she was the BEST that night. And I don't think anything changes here. I like Bianca Belair retaining. Alyssa?
Same. I'm going to stay with Bianca.
Speaking of trains we've ridden the entire way, and this one's helped us.
Yeah, this one's been successful. Choo-choo.
We're just going to ride the Belair train one more time before she switches to Blair.
Yes.
Kia?
I'm not going against her. I feel like I've picked her all this time, too, and it's not going to change. And why would we go against someone who is proven she can continue doing it? She's a fighting champion, so I don't see no need for... I love Io. No disrespect to Io whatsoever, but Bianca's retaining this title. This is her baby. So. And even though she might have to switch in 2 days afterwards, I feel like she's going to keep it and she's going to do what she's got to do.
Yeah. Exactly, and I like it. And just for curiosity, let's look at the OTRA vote here. 59% going with Bianca Belair, but honestly, that's a lot closer than I thought it'd be. Honestly. They're really giving Io a puncher's chance here. Also with the big moment of, it being in San Juan, you wonder, if maybe Bianca gets caught looking a little ahead, and, maybe there's some tomfoolery or some hijinks or something somewhere along the way. But that vote's a lot closer than I thought. I really thought Bianca would be more comfortably ahead, but still time to swing that vote the other way if Io starts picking up a little push here towards the end. All right. Another shift. It's time for Alyssa to do the military role. You want me to spin the camera, let everyone see it?
I might just get stuck.
Lord have mercy. All right, so our fourth match on the card is actually our third and final championship match on the card. And speaking of women's championships, we will move on to the other one, which is for the Smackdown Women's Championship. As Miss Brutality herself, Mami, and the number 1 overall draft pick of Night 2, Rhea Bloody Ripley. Yes, she tried that at a live show. We're going to see if it sticks. Will defend her newly won SmackDown Women's Championship against Puerto Rico's own Zelina Vega. On paper, this is a David Goliath-esque matchup. And Zelina's not, shying away from that. She knows she's the heavy underdog in this match. But she's always said for a long time that she's been dreaming of, the opportunity to be able to wrestle a match in front of her home country. And there's been opportunities where it almost happened, but didn't quite come to fruition. And ultimately, now she's not only going to get an opportunity to compete in front of her, her family and her fellow country and everything else, but also an opportunity to win the biggest goal, one of the biggest goals in the company against someone who right now, frankly, in the last 6 to 8 months has looked unstoppable in Rhea Ripley. Again, call it what it is, but Rhea goes in a heavy favor, but do you think Zelina's got a shot? Kia, your thoughts?
Yeah, maybe in Fairy Tale Land she has a shot, but I don't. The way I view things, you're looking at Rhea Ripley, who is dominant, who is strong, who is brutal, will literally give you a run for your money. To be quite frank, I feel like you could put Rhea. She's one of the few women you could put in a ring with a male competitor, and I feel like she would go toe to toe with that male competitor. I like Zelina.
She's already been calling out Solo, so
she really has. There's a thing right there, but that's neither here nor there. I feel like this match for Zelina would be good, but I feel like it's only because she's going back to San Juan, Puerto Rico, which is her home country, is why this match is happening. Do I see her winning? Slim chance. Very slim chance. Very, very slim chance. I see Rhea literally taking it to her, making her pay for everything that she's done on Monday Night Raw, on Friday Night Smackdown, how you've tried to call me out, how you've tried to embarrass me. I just won this title, and I swear to God, I'm not giving it over to you. I don't care what you say. I will literally stump you into a mud hole. So.
And we know she's capable of doing so.
Them boots. Yes, them boots. So I don't know. I don't see it.
Alyssa?
I think David and Goliath was like the perfect way to explain this. You have one of the most dominant female champions I've seen since I've started watching, and I've seen some pretty good people. And I've always known Rhea was going to do like good things, like just from the little time that I've watched her. But Zelina, baby, you got a mountain in front of you. You're like the size of a molehill.
There we go.
And you're barking a mountain. So I'm just like, it's possible.
She did win Queen of the Ring. That's a title that only Zelina Vega owns, and with respects, she didn't beat 3 nobodies on her way there. She won a major tournament, went to another fellow country to win that finals match against another larger competitor in Piper Niven, Dewdrop at the time, and, ultimately won herself, a title that currently she is the only holder of. So It's not impossible. But I will say, I agree, unlikely.
Yeah. She gonna have to have the Salvation Army, Jesus himself, half of Puerto Rico. You can go down there and help her. But I feel like you would get down on the mat.
I'm gonna be.
I was about to say, you would get down there on the mat. Be like, come here, mommy.
Mommy. Just please, waste a few stomps on me, please. She doesn't need them all. I'll take a few.
Yeah, no, this is going to take...
And of course, because we've got another minute or so here before our picks. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that, of course, they've got factions that come with them. We've got the LWO, and we've got Judgment Day, who also could potentially be involved. I would imagine that Damien's a little busy for the evening, but, you look at that. How much of a role do their respective stables play in the possible outcome of this match? Maybe that's where Zelina kind of fills in that gap.
And then that's Finn Balor and...
not Damian Priest, but
and Dominic, they sitting over there fighting family and junk. Like, I don't know. I feel like Zelina's going to put on the match of her life. I do not doubt that.
I agree.
It's not going to be. I already know this is not going to be one of those 30 seconds you take one hit, boom, you're done. No, she's about to put on a match. We already know there are going to be times in there where we're like.
Right, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she pops a code red.
Exactly.
And everyone thinks she's got it, and then at the last second, Rhea's going to snap out of it. But that crowd's going to go ballistic for that particular 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll put me at the end of my chair, but we will see.
I think
at some point, we have to be for real.
I feel like you're stepping into a den with a bear, and you don't want to help the bear at this point.
Yeah, it's
you
like a lion's den and your scar getting the mouse.
Exactly.
This is you ever see me fighting at Puerto Rico with a grizzly bear?
Help the bear.
I think again, and as I said at the beginning, before we get to the picks here officially to officially get them on the board. Zelina's not shying away from the fact that she knows she's a heavy underdog. But I think she's embracing the role. She knows she will have to wrestle a perfect match.
Oh, yeah.
She knows she's going to wrestle it. She might even need to catch a break here and there. But Rhea Ripley has the advantage of the size, the strength, and can make a mistake or two and probably can get away with it. Zelina cannot.
Here's the thing, and something that we did not bring up. Who's in her corner? Who's been the biggest underdog his whole entire career?
You talking Ray?
Rey Mysterio, the Hall of Famer. I feel like he's going to give her a lot of pointers and a lot of directions to go. So that's that 2% chance of she might, because we've seen Ray be the smallest and defeat larger people, and he's actually won. So that's the direction I feel like if she's going to win, that's the direction she's going to need to take.
Well, let's go ahead and at least get it officially on the board. We'll start with the OTRAs this time, only because I've been kind of holding them till the end. Oh, wow. So it is right now in favor of Rhea Ripley, but if you can see the number, it's only 55%. So there are a lot of people thinking, I guess Zelina's going to win. I don't know how many of that is maybe a disqualification win. Maybe Rhea thinks she can't beat her. Maybe Zelina puts on a great match and she just does what she needs to do to escape with the title. But, I mean, a couple of votes, in the other directions, Zelina would actually be the OTRA favorite in this one. So, hey, we'll see if that swings again. YouTube community page, same handle. Make your vote known. Alyssa, you start things off on this one. Let's go ahead and make it official.
Yeah, we already know where I'm going. I'm going Mommy. I like Rhea to retain. Yeah.
Yeah. Kia, technically you're up second.
I'm going to piggyback off that. I do like Zelina. I think she's great. I think she's done, a decent bit in her career. But this right here...
This ain't it.
I don't... Not if it was someone else on the other end, then yes, but not Rhea. Rhea has fought and fought and fought. You have to think about who she had to go up against, and she's had to lose, and she's been through a lot. She's been through her own evolution, as Austin Theory has. I don't think she's going to take for granted what she has worked so hard to get. So I'm retaining. I believe Rhea will retain.
I'm going to go with a little bit of piggyback off of both of y'all, starting with what Alyssa said earlier. Zelina will wrestle the match of her life.
Yeah.
She absolutely is not going to go out there and get embarrassed. She is going to wrestle the match of her life. She is going to give it everything she's got. There's going to be a few moments where I can guarantee you that San Juan crowd is going to think she's got it. Rhea Ripley for the last year has been beating up men.
Yeah.
Okay. Rey Mysterio, the Bloodline. I mean, whoever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's been standing in front of her. She's been not just going nose to nose with them. She's been whooping most of them.
Yeah.
Little 5'0" Zelina is not going to be the one who's going to be the one to stop her. I'm sorry. But, that's the whole idea of the David-Goliath story. David won that biblical matchup, but he also understood that 99 times out of the 100, he gets absolutely destroyed in that perfect circumstance. It has to be the perfect scenario, and this just isn't it. Mommy retains. Poor Zelina. She will be flat.
Dead ass whooping chair.
But you know what? But she's going to look fantastic doing it. And honestly, I'm going to say I want to see what outfit she comes out in, because she's going to show out. She already does the whole Met Gala thing and everything else. So this should be wonderful.
This should be fun.
Match 5 on our card is the 6-man tag team match, and talk about brutal rivalry on this one. As we have, oh Lord, yeah, some hurt feelings in on this one, I think, maybe, but we'll see how everybody feels, now that we actually are going to have a match. I am hitting the start button, but it is not moving. There we go. Jeez. Oh, my goodness. You would think I'd have some way. We need like a touch screen or something, I want to Vanna White this thing, okay? But it will be the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, beating the Usos at WrestleMania and retaining last week on SmackDown to keep the championships. They'll team with the returning Matt Riddle to battle against the Bloodline, Jay and Jimmy Uso, as well as Solo Sikoa. Now, let's just call it what it is. The Bloodline has some major cracks in it. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's in pieces. The Usos have been banned to the island, not even banned from the island of relevancy. They are called the Ocean of Obscurity, if I recall it correctly.
There we go.
And one has to wonder, when Paul Heyman got those marching orders on SmackDown saying, it's your night, who is Solo coming out to handle business against?
He was wrecking that thumb, Cheryl.
Real tight, real hard.
So you have to wonder, I almost feel like for their sake of any shot to stay as a part of the Bloodline, I think this is a must-win for the Usos, and we haven't said that about them in almost 2 years.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Ladies, take over.
First of all, I'm glad to have Matt Riddle back. It's great. Glad to be back. Glad to have you back. The original bro. But I feel like
we can't do it justice.
I feel like there's cracks technically on this side too. You have to think, Riddle has come back with a chip on his shoulder. Who put him on the shelf? Exactly.
Solo officially.
So exactly. He's coming back with a chip on his shoulder. He doesn't have Randy Orton. He has, at this present moment, he has Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And I feel like he's wanting to kind of lead this ship, lead this train, whatever, mode of transportation you want to go with. And I think it's
rubbing... trains all night.
Okay. Choo-choo. I'm sorry. I think it's rubbing Kevin Owens the wrong way. And I feel like, really, we're close, we're cool, we just got back to being, but now we got a third person? No, this is not what I expected, this is not what I planned, no. But
side.
Offensive side eye. That, exactly. So that is what that is. And Sami, bless his heart, is giving Riddle every chance, because I feel like Sami, good guy, bad guy, Sami will give you a chance. He's literally still trying to give the Usos a chance. What does that say for Sami?
He got a big heart.
He is a very sentimental guy.
Yeah,
now,
beard.
When it comes to the Usos, you're correct. Alyssa, I think you said it earlier in on the top ropes, not top rope spoilers, but plate exchange, excuse me, that in order for the Usos to get back into the good graces of Roman, to have him call, text, knock, send a smoke signal, do whatever he's got to do.
Put the letter in the bottle.
Right. I feel nope. I feel like they have to win these titles back. These titles, we've seen them with it for so long that it feels weird for them not to have it.
Honestly.
Also, we've also seen the Usos with the Bloodline everywhere they go, and to have Paul Heyman and Solo together and have Roman nowhere to be found, it feels weird. I don't know what's going on. Also, Solo has come back with this powerful strut, and Riddle just kind of every corner is just taking him out. But other than that, I'm wishing the best for both sides, but I'm pulling over one over the other.
You look at the situation, and with the way the draft ended up working out, all three members of the Owens, Zayn, Riddle team all going to Raw, all of the Bloodline going to SmackDown. We were questioning whether the Usos, because they had to get drafted separately, would there maybe be a swerve there, but ultimately they did end up on SmackDown. So when it comes to this, of course, the tag team champions can go between either show as long as the titles are still defended together. But, for all intents and purposes, this is the last shot for the Bloodline to really handle this situation. And they talked about ending the Sami and Kevin problem. And the reality is the problem has just continued to keep rearing its head. And it feels like if they can't get the job done in this match, basically Sami and Kevin won ultimately in the end. Because at that point, the Bloodline gets no more shots at them. The Usos had their shot to win back the titles. They didn't get it done. I don't know if they'll be able to potentially earn another one, or if Paul can maybe talk them into one more, if the Chief even wants them to have another one. Because right now, the idea is until they win back the gold, they're on their own. So figure things out. So like I said, I really do get the vibe that this is almost a must-win for the Bloodline in this particular instance, because we have to ultimately, look at the situation and say, okay, they've got to find a way to get things done. But it just seems like Owens and Zayn together have had their number every step of the way once they finally got past this BS of we got to do it separately.
Yeah.
Zayn, of course, with the inside source of being with the line for so long, and then Owens just get up and start punching people. And then Riddle, his folksy wisdom, I suppose. OTRA vote for this one. It is 80% in favor of the Riddle, Zayn, Owens team. So 4 out of 5 right now going against the Bloodline here. It just seems like they just can't seem to get over the edge on this one.
Can I get your take on it, Alyssa? I'm sorry. Time kind of ran out and we kind of ran long. But let's get your take on it because we know you've got something you got to say.
Well, I'm just going to keep it brief because it's late. I just feel like this match right here is going to bring finality to it one way or another. Either you're going to get them winning and Roman's going to have his answer, or they're going to prove themselves and they'll ultimately be able to work it out because, at the end of the day, family is family. So, there's that. Am I picking or?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Choo-choo?
Even when the little wheel fell off, it's okay. We got duct tape. We got some spit. We got some bubble gum.
Spit, grit, and a whole lot of duct tape.
Exactly. I'm going to Bloodline.
That would put me up next.
This girl said bubblegum jeans.
Honestly, I think if you were going to bring an end to the whole Bloodline storyline, I think you would have made the move to have the Usos go to Raw, and split them up for a little while. Maybe inevitably storylines bring them back together. Maybe they end up on opposite ends of the Survivor Series team or something. That could have been interesting in November. But the fact that they're keeping all of them together means that, they're going to continue running the story. Now, whether, Solo's going to, thumb them out after this match is over or whatnot, it remains to be seen. But I just feel like this is one that they've got to take this one. They have to find a way. They're going to show up with that extra chip on their shoulder. The disappointment of not getting those titles back, I think, is going to loom large. And I'm not even sure. I mean, let me make sure my statement's clear. I don't necessarily think that they even have to win the match. I think they have to be the ones walking out of the ring. If that means they take a disqualification loss to completely destroy the three of them, I think they'll take it. At this point, I don't even think it's about the winning the match anymore. I think this is about they're embarrassed and they need to make things right with the Tribal Chief. I think the Bloodline does prevail in this one, but I honestly think it'll be Solo doing most of the work. And I think it could be something where they're like, well, we won. No, you didn't win. He won.
Solo won. Yeah.
So, but I will take the Bloodline.
Let's go ahead and start off with this powerful walk that Solo did down to the ring this past Friday. Okay?
Was giving very much trouble.
Really, in all that black. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. I like both teams. Y'all know I like tag team. I like the situation of it all. I feel like there's cracks in both sides. I feel like these cracks are just temporary. These cracks, if this does not work out for them, it's permanent. And we know that, Jimmy and Jay would be fine on their own. But I feel like we've seen them for so long, for the last, almost year and a half, 2 years, with Roman and Paul, and then Solo came up. I feel like if you break this up in some form or fashion, by whatever means, they lose, and Solo ends up, then it just won't feel right. It won't feel right, and I'm just going to sit here and be going back and looking at past matches.
Right.
But we're going to go ahead and get my pick. I feel like I'm going to go ahead and ride the Bloodline train, Blood is thicker than water, and that on this side is straight water. And this is all blood over here, so I feel like they're going to get it.
Don't trust the water that Riddle's drinking, though. Don't drink out of his bottle.
Don't drink that water, child.
I feel like family, they're going to work it. I feel like they've got that fuel. They're burning for this to be, I'm going to get you, and it's like ground and pound and everything else. I'm going to go Bloodline all the way. And I'm not just saying Solo. I feel like Jay's got a chip on his shoulder. Jimmy's got a chip on his shoulder.
Jimmy's the one taking all these pins, so he got a chip.
Oh, yeah, he definitely does.
Right, got a crack in his shoulder.
His woman went to another show. He's sad right now. I mean, come on. Let's give the man a break.
Okay.
Let's move to the next one. Shift it over.
On to the next.
Here we go. Another tuck and roll for me behind the camera. So that moves us into our co-main event of Backlash. And this one,
I'm not.
Best friends turn bitter rivals. And first of all, I love this render.
I do too.
First of all, that's not even a picture. That's actually a hand-drawn photo done by a wrestling fan that ultimately WWE ended up choosing to use. But either way, San Juan street fight, Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. Now, I don't think anyone has even questioned, Bad Bunny's the one who set the tone. And and someone like Logan Paul has come in and has added his pieces to it as well. But the reality is, ever since he hit that Canadian Destroyer on John Morrison 2 years ago, Bad Bunny has absolutely set the tone for what a celebrity is supposed to come in and do. This isn't Snooki at 27. This isn't, Lord. She who shall not be named. Oops, already did. But reality is, Bad Bunny has proven through his love of the company that he's willing to put in the work. And now he gets a chance to take on his former best friend, but now turned bitter enemy because of his loyalty to the Judgment Day. He feels disrespected. Both of them, of course, riding in front of the Puerto Rican crowd. This match is for the people. Let's just call it what it is. And I'm looking forward to this. No rules, no disqualifications. Let's see what these two can do.
Isn't it interesting? The last time they were in a ring together, they were on the same team, and now they're going to get back into the ring again, but they're going to be on opposite teams. I feel like I would love to see this again. You're right. Bad Bunny has come in and has taken this seriously. Him and Priest, like, were in and out of the ring working out, like, all the moves out, all the kinks out. He took it seriously, and the fact that you see that, you don't see that in a celebrity. So, like, he put his music aside to make that happen. Now, is he going to retain everything? For me, I feel like he's going to retain everything that he was taught previously, and I feel like it's what he's going to use against Priest, which is kind of, I maybe have taught him a little too much. Now he's using it against me. But yeah, I feel like this is big brother, little brother. They're fighting, and it's gonna be a whole come apart. Alyssa?
I just want to say, I didn't see that first Bad Bunny match, like the one that y'all talked about.
Anyone else who on our channel that's watching that has not watched it, you are doing yourself a disservice by not watching it. So make sure, even if you have watched it, go back and watch it again. But we will make sure, Alyssa, you get a chance to check that out before this weekend. Hey, we're both at home tomorrow. Perfect.
All right. All I'm saying is, from an initial standpoint, I like what I've seen from him. I like what he's standing for. I like how even when your friend is over there, you're like, at the end of the day, you're doing your dad wrong. Like, he don't care about his feelings. He don't care about none of that. At the end of the day, if he's wrong, he's wrong. And I enjoy that he called him out on that. So, yeah, I like that. As far as he is concerned,
Are some feelings potentially bubbling up here?
I don't know. I just hope he get his butt kicked, because you don't do that to your friend. You know, I don't care what your friend did.
I like the fact
like that.
I like the fact that he was in Ray's corner when he needed to be
Exactly.
over Dom. I feel like it rubbed Priest the wrong way, which it probably should. It tells you, hey, even at the worst, you don't disrespect your family.
Exactly.
You don't do it. And the fact that Dom did it for so long and got used to it,
Literally.
and is still doing it after the fact that he got his butt beat at WrestleMania by his father, literally with a belt, but, you know, it's neither here nor there. What I liked is when he came out, Bad Bunny came out, and he said,
With that kendo
"Go
stick.
I am no longer the host. I am wrestling.
I'm going to whoop your ass."
And whoop he did. If y'all didn't see Friday Night SmackDown, go watch it. He literally beat the brakes off of Damien. I swear he could have beat him like
the swing of the kendo stick where he took out his leg and he fell on the table. That was fantastic.
I feel like he literally dropped him a couple of inches. That's what I feel like that was. That was some hardcore stuff for me. ECW days.
The reality is that, again, you know, take storylines out of play. These guys are absolute best friends, and they're going to get to live the dream together for about 20 to 25 minutes, wrestling in front of a hot Puerto Rican crowd.
Literally.
That you know is going to, I mean, this is going to be a white fire type of match that long after WWE has left San Juan, this is going to be a match that they're still going to be talking about is, you know, the man who left Puerto Rico and came back a mega superstar, as well as a man who has wrestled multiple WrestleManias and has had an opportunity to be able to do it. Because for the longest time, we wondered, why did Damian Priest not end up with a match on the card at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Well, now this answers why. Because they had plans for him already, and it was him making sure that he was not distracted with WrestleMania because he wanted this match with his friend in real life. You know, this is going to be a dream match for both guys. Bad Bunny's going to get to live the dream that so many of us have wanted, celebrity or not, to get a chance to wrestle on your own in a match against your friend. You know, and Priest, you know, is going to do a great job of not only keeping him safe, but also making him look fantastic throughout this match. Now, returning back to storyline, though, again, you have to consider the fact that this is a San Juan street fight, and just like we mentioned with Rhea and Zelina earlier in the night, you're also going to be looking for LWO and Judgment Day likely to get involved in this, and now you've got the entire squads that can be able to come through. So do not expect those matches to fall back to back. Expect that. I wouldn't be surprised if Rhea and Zelina don't open the night.
Yeah.
You know, and then this ends up being later. And if it wasn't for what ultimately is the main event, I would argue this would have been the main event.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be the one that's going to ignite the crowd. I think your loudest pops are going to happen here.
I was going to say, I think this is going to be your match of the
I 100% agree. I think right now the over-under on the number of Canadian destroyers is like 2.5 for Bunny. But the reality is this is going to be one where have your popcorn ready because this is going to be a fun one. But now let's see exactly where our vote is heading. Let's move to the OTRAs first. And right now, overwhelming 93% going with the celebrity as per WWE policy. Oftentimes the celebrity does take this match because it does the celebrity no good to wrestle the match and lose. You know, but Priest isn't going to lose anything by losing to Bad Bunny because of the circumstances of this match. So I don't think, you know, him being that heavy up, I don't think is a surprise to anyone. I think Bunny does go in the favorite because of that celebrity status. I think if this is a standard wrestling match, maybe a whole nother story, but add in the San Juan street fight. This is not about wrestling talent. This is about just beating the crap out of folks.
I mean, he already started on Friday with that kendo stick and beating the brakes off of Damien and getting him laid out a couple of inches on the table. So I feel like he's already started. His mental mind games have already started. No offense, Priest. I like you. You're great. But,
yeah, let's go. So I opened the vote on this one. I don't need long on this one. Bad Bunny is going to take this match. Again, you know, you're going to build up the celebrity. Give him, you know, a chance for him to wrestle a 20 to 25 minute match. You know, he'll you know, have to take some beating from Damien, but I think he knows that comes with the territory. Mm-hmm. But in standard WWE fashion, Bunny will take this match. Yeah. Alyssa?
I like Bad Bunny to win too. It's not hard to pick him, you know. At the end of the day,
he's fun to watch.
From the right place. Hey, I'll be behind you.
Kia?
I mean, I'm not gonna go against the verdict in the room. I'm picking Bad Bunny only because I know what he's gonna bring to this table from the last match. And again, like I said, Priest, I feel like taught him what he needed to know, and now it's gonna be turned around. He's gonna have to take that medicine and get it going. I mean, Bad Bunny all the way. No. Bad Bunny.
Feelings, no, none.
And moving into our last match of the night, I think that if the main event had been anything other than what's coming up, this would have been your main event. And I'm still arguing it potentially still might be. They may decide they want the Puerto Rican crowd to go home with a victorious Bad Bunny at the end, and they might want the fireworks and the pyro and everything else. You know the pyro allotment for this is going to be through the roof, so Alyssa, you'll be very happy to be sitting at home. But speaking of loud and large amounts of pyro, that moves us to what we feel will be the main event. Whoa, hey, come on. Just because Brock ended up on the screen doesn't mean that we gotta be...
No. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not pulling for, him. I'm pulling for...
But it is our main event. Obviously, this goes all the way back to the Monday immediately following WrestleMania, as the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, will go one-on-one with the Beast, Brock Lesnar. After Cody came up just short against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in the main event, he thought he was going to have a surprise leg up by getting Brock as his partner the next night on Raw, only to have Brock, frankly, do what Brock does, and that is he is going to go into business for himself, turning heel, turning on Cody. Cody has been just salivating at the chance to get his hands on Brock's. Security keeps stopping him. I think the most he's gotten out of is kicking a cowboy hat. But unlike Brock we've seen before, he's standing there, he's just waiting. It's a much more methodical, much more process-driven Brock than we're used to, instead of just go in guns blazing. You know, Brock is sitting there letting Cody almost mentally beat himself right now.
I feel like with all the love in the world to Cody, I'm saying this, if you're watching, I love you, you're great, I have followed you. Brock is living rent-free in your head, and Brock knows that. The way you react, your reaction every time he comes out, every time his name is mentioned, the way you react, he's right here. Like, if you didn't react, he wouldn't have had a leg up, or he wouldn't have had any leverage. And I'm hoping that all this that he's saying, I want him to salivate, but I want him to do it in silence. Like, go to the corner, be quiet, don't say nothing, come out, shoot your shot, and beat him down. okay, because you're gonna need it. But you're like, again, I feel like he's the Chihuahua type situation, and Brock Lesnar is the pit bull at this point.
He keeps barking back
the
at
wrong
him.
tree.
And it's interesting that Brock was able to do this so easily because Cody seemed so cool and collected heading into his matchup ultimately with Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
it seemed like he was very much on point. His mind was set, and he was able to very clearly get his point across. But it seems like Brock has, stirred something in him that I don't think was expected, and I'm not sure he's reacting the way that he thought he would, because he even said it himself. He goes, I thought I'd be champion at this point. I thought my story would be finished, and yet it's not. And now a huge obstacle has stepped in your way in Brock Lesnar, who we know what he's capable of.
Man.
You know it's good when she opens with that.
Child. I think I'm enjoying this set right here because at least I'll say it like this. I'm seeing a different side of Cody. I'm seeing the reactionary side, the side that gets piped up when he sees this man, the side that gets enraged. Like, again, piggybacking off what y'all said, when it was leading up to WrestleMania, that man was cool, calm, and collected in his little suit and said, don't mention my dad again, okay? That's exactly how he was. And now you're seeing, like, a change. You're seeing a flip. But I'm trying to figure out myself if that's a step that's going to help him or if that's going to be a step that sets him back.
And I think this match is going to go a long way to telling us that.
Yeah.
Because
like the carpet.
Exactly. Because the one thing about Cody is the fact that he has always been a cool customer.
Yeah.
He has been a person who is every bit as calm and collected as any other person you'd ever see in the ring. And yet we are seeing just pure-blooded emotion out of Cody. There's no thought behind his movements. There's no thought. It is just, I want to beat up Brock Lesnar. And it's almost like he's trying to play and beat Brock at his game. And frankly put, the best in the world have tried and failed at beating Brock at his own game. This is not a smart move by Cody to try to go this route.
If you have learned anything at all from Roman, it's to smile, stay calm, stay cool, and then when they say something, just don't let it phase you. Don't give them and laugh it off, because game plan. Because when Roman was calm, cool, collected, and laughing, this man was game plan. That's what I think Cody needs to do. So take what you learned from Roman and what you learned from yourself and put it into this match.
I just hope he's lighting the torch for his future, not like the candle to burn his demise.
Not burning it down.
Yeah.
Speaking of fires and lighting candles, Alyssa, I'm sure you've got to be so happy that you will not have to be in the Coliseum for this pyro, because can you imagine between the two of them the amount of fireworks and the budget for pyro that they're going to use for this particular sets of entrances?
Didn't they say it was unlimited? I thought I heard unlimited, or like it's going to be expensive.
It's not unlimited, but they are absolutely the bank will be broken for the amount of pyro they're going to use at this event.
I was about to say I would just be under the chair, like. You can just put me underneath the Coliseum. It's
I'm
fine.
gonna go get
I'll
popcorn.
watch from down here. Just call me Dexter, okay? I'll come out when you need me.
And when it's over, you'll just...
I'll just come out there. It's wonderful. I got y'all.
There you go.
There
Big
you go.
thumbs up. There you go.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, goodness. So our final pick of this premium live event. I'm sorry we couldn't add a little more flair, because a lot of our picks have been the same, and I don't know if we're going to go the same route on this one. But right now, the OTRA vote, 76% of our voters are going with Cody Rhodes. Again, OTRAs tend to vote with the face in most circumstances, and I think they feel that Cody will find a way to adapt and overcome in this particular instance. We know how dangerous Brock can be, so it's just going to be dependent on, can Cody show up in Puerto Rico with a clear and level head like he did against Seth Rollins, like he did against Roman Reigns, even though he fell in defeat in that match. He showed up with the right game plan. I almost feel like he's going to show up with no plan. And remember, this is not a no disqualification match. He's got to beat Lesnar in a wrestling match. So I feel like, Brock has pushed him past his mental limit. And also, we're not even sure of his physical condition, because they haven't cleared him to wrestle a match since he got attacked by Brock. So we don't even know if Cody's going to show up even 100% either.
He didn't show up 100% when his pec was torn either, but he did the damn thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Match 7 means we're back around to the beginning, so Alyssa, you're up.
This is a head and heart vote.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. My heart wants to. My heart wants to go with Cody. It really does. But when you have, and I'm speaking from my experience because I feel like I come in cool, calm, and collected. But when I sit there and I go off the top, I go with emotion. Y'all have argued with me.
Oh yeah.
Y'all
no, we don't argue. We discuss.
Yeah. Well,
y'all may discuss. I've been on the wrong.
You've argued
a couple
with
of times.
me, and when I blow my top, there's no getting me back. So it's like, I fear for him that if he blows his top, he's not going to be able to get it back. And even if it's him beating Brock Lesnar up, he'll get disqualified. So I think for this one, with Brock playing the mind games and getting in his head, I'm going to go Brock.
Okay. We're spinning down to the beginning, so Kay, you're next.
One thing I would like to say is I would like for Cody to channel Roman, channel your father, channel who you need to go into this match with all your mental casualties in one piece. For me, I've ridden this Cody train from day one.
Choo-choo.
And I'm going to continue to ride the Cody train. Despite what he's doing and how he's feeling and how Brock is getting this reaction that he wants, I'm going with Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare.
I just have a hard time believing that Cody's going to hit his Crossroads trifecta on Brock Lesnar. I just don't get the vibe that he's going to be able to hit that move 3 successful times. In order to keep Brock down, because we all know a single's not going to get it done. I almost agree with Alyssa on this one, that I think this has disqualification written all over, but disqualification in Lesnar's favor, and perhaps another one in a couple of weeks, maybe at Night of Champions, maybe this happens again. But at the end of the day, I don't think Cody's going to show up in the right mindset. I don't know how he is physically, and you've got to be at the top of your game to go up against Brock Lesnar. And the reality is, not only is he right now weakened physically, he's weakened emotionally and mentally as well. Yeah. Not a good combination when you're going up against the alpha male of our species, as Pat McAfee would so kindly put it. So the reality is, following up with something you said earlier, is when you go into that blind rage, it can help you, but the problem is a person in a blind rage also makes mistakes. Yeah. And Brock is a person that if you make a single mistake,
you're done.
He's going to finish you right then and there. F5, good night. We'll see you later on. I'm going to go Lesnar on this one as well. I know the popular vote is going to be to go with Cody, so Kia may pick up a free point here, because we may not see things. But I don't see this being the only one. I think this happens again. But I don't think Cody's in the right mindset. I think Lesnar wins this one.
I'm by myself, so let's,
You and Ultras.
Yeah.
That's it. And with that, we do thank you for so much for joining us. It was a later TikTok, live, but hey, we gotta jump in where our work schedules allow. You can follow us on all of our social medias. They're all right here. We'll have Kia's shadow back up, and I'll step out of this one. But we're on Twitter, of course on TikTok, because if not, why are you watching us here? How'd you find us? Who are you? Our main channel is our YouTube channel. Make sure you go and look at us there. And then we are also on Facebook. Follow the Mania Club if you're not already following, because it's a lot of fun, a lot of good things. I'm sporting the new jersey, coming straight in from LA and WrestleMania. We're on Instagram and also Canadian Twitter, which is Hive. Not much there at the moment, but, hey, if Elon decides he wants to do something silly, we're ready.
We're prepared.
We will survive somehow on the Twitter site. But, let us know what you think. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, we're trying the whole TikTok live thing. Hopefully our following and our comment section will get a little bit bigger as we go along, because we're still relatively new to this. We did post up Plate Exchange earlier. In NXT threw my entire plan off, so thank you so much. Thanks Indy, Alba, Isla. Y'all are wonderful, but show me the plates like a couple of hours earlier. Isn't that okay? Before I go out here and act silly. Either way, all this is also going to be placed on YouTube, so if you're watching this on YouTube later on, hey, here it is. And, you guys enjoy. But I will be live at Backlash. We might throw a live together or combo or whatever it is with the ladies while I'm in the Coliseum. But I will be bringing you some TikToks live from San Juan as well. So you guys have yourself a great night. On behalf of Alyssa behind the camera and Kia to my right, I'm Steve with On the Ring Apron. You guys have a great night.